Hi, hello. Thank you for joining us today. We're just going to give a couple seconds for everybody to get logged in. As a quick introduction, my name is Ethan Hawkland. I am a senior admission counselor here at Oglethorpe University. And we're here for about 2.5 years, and I am happy to be talking with you guys today, as well as introducing our lovely campus life staff and students. Again, we'll just give it a couple more minutes to let everybody get logged in, figure out any technical issues they might be having, and then we'll get started. Just hanging out for just a moment. As we're going through this session, if you guys have any questions at all, you actually have the opportunity to submit any questions to the Q&A function located on your screen. So if you have anything, feel free to do that. We'll answer questions at the end after we get through all of our introductions and just information session in general. So if you have anything, feel free to submit those. Any questions that we don't get to today, we'll make sure we get to after the fact, and follow up with you via email. It looks like we're at a pretty consistent number here. So again, just introducing myself, my name is Ethan Hawkland, a senior admission counselor here at Oglethorpe. And to start it off, I will pass it over to LaRon to get us started.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Ethan, and welcome, class of 2025. We're so excited that you have joined us today for this panel discussion. So, again, my name is LaRon Birch. I am the Assistant Director for Student Involvement here at Oglethorpe University. Again, welcome. We're excited that you have chosen to be part of us and listen to some great things that we have tonight. And in our office, we have a lot of great, fun things in our office, such as orientations, which we'll see you in August for. Yes, for fall orientation. We house about 60 clubs and organizations, Greek life, programming board, and leadership and development opportunities in our office. And so we're just very excited to have two of our student leaders join us as well that are involved and connected and engaged with Oglethorpe, as well as our coordinator for student involvement and Greek life. And I'm going to pass it on to Chantel so she can introduce herself.
As Ron just said, my name is Chantel Jones. I'm class of 2018, so I was also a story teacher. So you guys are joining a lovely family. I came right back. But I am the coordinator for student involvement in Greek life, as Ron mentioned. So I get to do a lot of the fun things. I oversee Michael and programming board. I oversee all of our 9 lovely social Greek organizations. So if you have questions about Greek life, I'm your girl. But yeah, we're super excited to have you guys here today. Like Laura mentioned, we do orientation, which we will see you at in August because why wouldn't you want to be a story petrel? But I'm going to pass it over to Michael. Michael, you can go next.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Michael Woods. I am a fourth year student and psychology major. My hometown was originally Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but I claim Lawrenceville, Georgia, as my hometown. And on campus, I am pretty involved. I do most of my time is the VP of programming, which means I get to lead programming board. And I also spend a lot of time with our student alumni association called STAT. Take it over. Over to you, Justin.
Thank you, Michael. My name is Justin Bennett. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I am a junior, double majoring in economics and French. And as Michael already said, I'm quite involved as well. A few things I'm involved in are SGA, and I'm a member of fraternity on campus.
Awesome, perfect. As you have heard, obviously we have some really great panelists here, some great staff members, and some great students. We're just going to kick it off and learn a little bit more about what there is to be involved on campus. If you would, Chantel, can you speak a little more to our Greek life, organizations on campus, what their sort of involvement is on that, sort of an overview of that as well?
Of course. So, as I mentioned, we have 9 social Greek organizations. We have 3 national Panhellenic sororities. So that is Chi Omega, Alpha Sigma Tau, and Sigma Sigma Sigma, also known as Tri Sigma. We have 3 interfraternal councils fraternities. That is Delta Sigma Phi, Chi Phi, and Sigma Alpha Epsilon. We have 2 Divine Nine or National Panhellenic Greek organizations. So we have Alpha Phi Alpha Incorporated, which our lovely Justin is a member of, and we have Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. We also have one local organization that's called Epsilon Iota Psi Sorority. They were founded on our campus in 2012, I believe. So our social Greeks, about 25% of our campus are a member of social Greek organizations. They do a lot of things. Honestly, I spend most of my time, it's kind of fun. I spend most of my time with the Greeks and then have my time at programming board. So I'm a busy lady. But our Greeks are really fun. I was also involved in Greek life at Oglethorpe. It's a lot of fun. 6 of our organizations have houses on campus. Right now, Greek Row is closed, but that does not limit what the things they do. They host chapter meetings, they host philanthropy events, they host all sorts of things, really. I think it's when it comes to Greek life, you put in it what you want to get out of it. I think that's to say about a lot of things, but I think it's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people. You get to meet a lot of people that are different from who you are, and I think that's the best thing about Oglethorpe. Greek life is not as stereotypical as most people would think about. If you were to compare us to any larger school, we have, and not that those communities aren't inclusive, but we have a more of a tight knit community because we are so small. And I think that's the best thing about Oglethorpe and getting involved in our Greek community is that you don't feel like you're gonna be ostracized because you're in one organization versus the other. You have a chance to be involved. They will still be your sisters. They will still be your brothers. They'll still be your friends. So I think the best thing about our Greek population is that you can join whatever organization you really want to join and not feel like you're missing out because the people that you're not in the brotherhood or sisterhood with, you will still see in class every single day because we are this big. So I know that was really quick, but if anyone has a question, please put some in the chat or the Q&A. That was kind of a quick little overview. Ethan, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so at all. I think Greek life is a really unique opportunity, especially at a small school like Oglethorpe, being able to sort of have that sort of connection and network, not only to the students on campus, but to the alumni network and the other like chapters at other schools, I think is a really awesome opportunity for our students, sort of building upon the alumni network at Oglethorpe, but also the, network of the chapter itself. Really advantageous to you guys moving forward. So I'm a little more curious, not necessarily about Greek life, but something you guys did mention. I want to learn a little bit more about the programming board. So maybe Michael, you could like take the lead on this and speak a little bit more about your experience with SGA and the programming board.
Sure, of course. So for all of you, programming board is a 16-member body filled with 4 representatives of each class, and we get to plan all major on-campus events. So your first week there, one event you'll get to see programming board do is Quad Fest. It's the first major event of the year, and it's usually like a carnival style event. It's really fun. This semester, this year, really, our events look a little bit different, but our goal and objective is still the same. We plan events to enhance the student body connection, community, and yeah, that's what we do. It's a lot of fun, but it is also a really rewarding experience being able to plan events for your fellow peers that they get to enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome. SGA is such a comprehensive sort of unit and organization at Oglethorpe as well. So just kind of getting those experiences and being involved with your peers and sharing that kind of leadership and your mentorship, I think is really, really awesome and very additive to your like experiential transcript that you're getting at Oglethorpe. Justin, I actually was going to ask you a little bit. So being the residence life representative here, I want you to kind of talk a little bit more about what's it like living on campus and what's it like being a resident assistant?
Of course. For the first part, what is it like living on campus? Similar to what Chantel was talking about with Greek life, living on campus is what you make of it. So if you're an extrovert, then you may find yourself going to all the events in which there are tons and tons every day, every week. If you find yourself rather introverted, then because housing is kind of suite style or like suite mate, roommate based, you might get to become more friendly and become closer with your roommates or suite mates, and that may be your friend group or whatever, right? And so I find that college is very similar to high school, in which you know no one at first. Well, at least for me, I knew no one when I went into high school, and then I made friends based on what classes or what based on common interests. And so college, same thing, but you happen to live there, so the people you are around are probably people you'll commune with most often. And then obviously when you go to more if and when you go to more events on campus, and that's when you'll become more open and more receptive to meeting new people and stuff like that. The second question was, how's it being an RA on campus? Um, Being an RA is always a rewarding thing. Similar to what Michael was saying, being able to ensure that, like, I have a thing that I say for my residents. I ensure that my residents are safe, supported, and successful. Those three things are something that I always strive to do, and being able to see from the beginning of the year to the end of the year how like residents develop, especially because I have freshmen, so how they develop and how they have moved along over time is just extremely rewarding, and it's an experience that I would not take for granted. And a little plug for those who are interested in being an RA, you can start becoming one of your second years, so you'll apply and go through that process. And yeah, it's a good experience and a good resume builder.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to follow up and say. Like, a lot of students tend to think that the only way that they're going to build upon their resume while they're in college is like through either jobs, the part-time jobs that they have, or through like different internships that they do. But a lot of students need to realize that like you get a lot of experience through your involvement on campus, whether you have a leadership position like in SGA or your resident assistant, like there are so many different things that you can add to your resume because they're very transferable skills that I help you, in your first job and at your next job, like your last job, whatever it may be. Like it all starts when you get to college. And that's something that I definitely was able to have, sort of adding those skills on my resume as well. So whenever I graduated, I had a lot of things to sort of market myself in the job force afterwards. So because I mentioned SGA and a little bit more about like how we involved in SGA and learning more about organizations to be involved in, I kind of want to ask Laron, can you tell our students how you can be involved in different organizations on campus?
Sure. So yes, as each of our panelists they've talked about, they've touched about involvement and being engaged, which is a really important part of your college experience. And I would say the one thing before I touch and go into any further, the one thing about coming to a smaller institution is the connections. There's so many great connections that you can make here at Oglethorpe because we are a close-knit community, and those connections begin at orientation, and that's why it's so important to attend orientation, because you make connections, you find friend groups, and you're really kind of getting your groove of what Oglethorpe is. And so that's why we really give you a lot of great information throughout the summer, throughout the fall, so you can find those connectivity pieces. I know Justin was talking about being an extrovert and how you may be involved in a lot of things like that, but also for introverts it's a great place as well. I've seen some of the most introverted students become the most extroverted students throughout their college career. And that is with the involvement and the engagement piece. And so, just going to small things, there's, programming, the residence life has programming all the time. It's just highlighted in the various residence halls. Programming board puts on programs. We also have 60 clubs and organizations that usually host a host of programs and seminars and workshops. And so there's something always to do. So something very important that I'm going to introduce to you now is OU Connect and Court. So you'll hear me say this a whole lot because it's very important. OU Connect and Court is our advertising main platform that all our events are housed on. And so this is where you'll find how to get connected in student organizations, find out who's hosting what, times, places, and where to get connected. And so you'll hear more about those things further on when you get connected to the university. And so that's just a very important piece to have. And so, getting involved and engaging, you don't have to do everything at once, but once you find a friend group, you find your niche, you'll start to catch on and you really will come out of your shell. And one great thing about our student organizations here is if there's something you don't want here, or there's something you want and we don't have, you can always start a club or organization. And it's just a simple process. You go through SGA, which is our ICC rep. You have to have your officers and your constitution and bylaws, and we can walk you through that at a different time, but it's a very simple process. And even this year, we've had several clubs and organizations that have started, even in our remote environment, which I think is really awesome. To really have that one club and organization that comes to mind is the Muslim Student Organization. They started last fall. During our remote environment, which is awesome. And so that engagement platform is still here. We have really worked hard and tirelessly to still create that sense of engagement and involvement, because that's important in your college career. Ultimately, you're here to get your degree and for that academic component, but also that engagement outside and then that connectivity piece outside of the classroom is just as important as well. So you get to maximum of your development, because oftentimes, and Chantel will probably test to this because she's is an alum. When we're talking about our college experience, we often reflect outside of the classroom versus inside the classroom. Ironically, I can think of probably about 3 professors that probably, if that really impacted me, but it's all those folks outside of the classroom that really impacted my college experience and really got me to the place I am today. And so that's why it's very important to get involved. And, we're here as an office to guide you. If you need help getting connected with something, we're always here to help you as well. And so is our awesome student leaders on the call. They're very well versed. They're involved in lots of things throughout the university. They're here to connect you and get you involved and engaged as well. Just another component with Student Government Association, I know we touched about on it a little bit. I also advise Student Government Association as well. It's a great platform to get involved in. We've had several first-year students really get involved this year and really do a tremendous job with Student Government Association. And so each year in the fall, of the fifth week of the semester, that's when elections take place for the freshman class. So if that's something you're interested in, start going to Student Government Association meetings. They typically there probably will be, historically they've been on Thursdays at 6. They probably will be that same time in the fall. You'll see advertisements through OU Connect about what the times and the place they'll meet. And also you'll hear probably most likely more about a Student Government Association closer you get started in the fall semester as well.
Awesome. Yeah. I think being such a small school like Oglethorpe, there's obviously a lot of ways for our students to be involved. So it's really awesome to hear about like the resources available to our students to sort of find those connections and find their niche, like little community that they could be a part of. Just as a quick reminder to our participants, if you guys have any questions, feel free to submit those through the Q&A function below. And we will make sure to ask those questions, to our panelists as we're getting them in. But I wanted to actually ask our students really quickly. Oglethorpe is such a great place, and you found lots of ways to be involved in. I'm a little curious to know a little bit more about how you guys found Oglethorpe, and what was your college search process looking like? Because we do have some students who are on the call who have not quite yet decided that they're coming to Oglethorpe. So just kind of wanted to know what your thought process was. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do either one of you want to go first, or anyone want to volunteer?
Sure, I can go first.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't apply to many schools, and Oglethorpe was the only small school that I applied to. But when I went on my college tours around winter break-ish, and I toured other schools, and they were okay. They were fine. But it was when I got to Oglethorpe, and it felt like it was a feeling that I got on campus. It was the feeling of like community, and how I felt less like a number. I'm sure you probably heard that over and over again, how Oglethorpe, with its small classes, and its strong community, how everyone feels like they're not a number, that they matter. But I truly felt that when I came here. And so that it was the day after I toured campus that I submitted my deposit, because I knew that this was the school for me. And luckily, I still remember my tour guide, who was Anna Gandy. Well, the person, she later became student body president. So she was a really awesome person on campus. And I still remember her and how she was, that weekend, she was taking her LSAT. And I don't know, it was a connection that I got. So that was ultimately, that was it. That's what drew me to Oglethorpe and made me decide to come here.
I would say Michael. I remember mine too. Caleb Logan, what an amazing person. So for me, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the IB program, but in high school I was a part of IB and I did AP at the same time. So being at a school like that where I'm in a graduating class of 78, and like it's really really small, everyone knows each other, stuff like that. I wanted to be in a small environment because I know how IB was for me, and I know that I wanted to be in a place that, as Michael said, where I wouldn't be treated as a number. um Knowing that I wanted to be in Atlanta, I looked at schools here, applied to a bunch of schools here, and after I see the acceptances to all of my schools, I was like, okay, now I need to tour them all. So I went on my tours. Caleb played a big part in my in my decision, but as Michael said, when you come on the campus, you genuinely do feel at home. I mean, well, me, I genuinely felt at home. I felt like it was a place where I would be cared about. I would be able to grow not only academically but professionally and personally as well. And it's been nothing but that since my matriculation into Oglethorpe. So yeah, I'm probably leaving out a bunch of stuff just because this was like 4 years ago. But yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. I totally hear where you're coming from. It definitely sounds like both of you had a very like personal, like warm, friendly experience, especially with your tour. I think it's a big part for our admission process too. So I am so warmed actually to hear that. That's so awesome that you guys had such a positive experience interacting with our students. So and that's a great opportunity. I'm glad we're allowing our current admitted students to get an interaction with you guys and see what it's like to be at Oglethorpe. So I wanted to ask you guys, just a little curious, what are some things that you like some of your favorite things to do, not only at Oglethorpe, but I guess in the city of Atlanta too? Like, what are some things that you look forward to in your free time?
I'll go first. I know Michael went first last time, so I'll give him a break. Um, for me, I love urban spaces. So I love going to Piedmont Park. I like going to the Beltline, to Ponce, and just soaking it all in, right? Just whether it's just sitting down outside, whether it's scootering around town, whatever it is, I love it. Like it's such a positive thing. It just releases my mind. So like if I'm stressed, I'll just drive downtown and or midtown or whatever and just soak in the environment, right? Aside from that, like you're in Atlanta, there's so much you can. There's literally so much you can do. Whatever you're interested in, there's probably something for you. So I mean, yeah, just whatever you're into, just go for it.
Yeah, I can definitely echo everything Justin just said. Our school is in the perimeter of Atlanta, so there is so much to do. But for me, my favorite thing is the restaurants. There is so many food places all around Oglethorpe, that, especially with Buford Highway being not too far away, um, the food, it's amazing. You will never not have enough new places to try out, and that's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I will totally agree with you there, Michael. I am such a like advocate for food. I am such a person who connects with other people over food. But I'm also a creature of habit, so I always order the same thing everywhere I go. And right next to Oglethorpe in town Brookhaven, I love going to Lucky's and getting their fried pickles. Oh my gosh, I have never had better fried pickles than going there. So I absolutely love going there. So I actually wanted to know, a little curious, Chantel, like, what are some things that you like to do in the city of Atlanta? Maybe there are things that you continued after you graduated, but like just in general, like, what are some things you'd be involved in? And we can ask LeBron afterwards too. I just wanted to put you on the spot. Sorry.
That'll be fun. I think Michael and Justin said so much that resonated with me as an alum. Like they said two of my really good friends that I still talk to. So that was really very heartwarming to me. And I love Oglethorpe. I honestly, you want to talk about Oglethorpe? I love Oglethorpe. That's why I'm back, honestly. I was only gone for a little bit. But I think I was one of those people that students that did not have a car. I didn't get a car until literally 2 months before graduation. So I kind of, me and my friends, like we didn't walk everywhere because a lot of my friends did have cars. But we found a lot of things to do on campus, which may seem boring to some people, but we found a lot of things that kept us on campus, which is also what I love about Oglethorpe. We had a lot of fun things. Program board, like Michael, I was also involved in program board, and they always put on something fun for us to do, no matter where it was. Like if some of your friends are like, oh, we're gonna go off campus, well, I don't have a car, so I'm just gonna stay on campus. There was always something that kept me occupied on this campus. But off campus, there's this really cute, like it's in the cut and it's very cute. It's like this really cute, like coffee shop. I don't drink coffee, but I love this little place. It was called the Cookie Studio. Is right down in Buckhead, past Lenox Mall, like on this side little street. And my friends and I, no one else knew about it. And it was just the cutest little homey place. And they're like, oh, y'all are the kids from Oglethorpe. And I was like, yeah, that's us. So we found little random things to go to. We also have a lot of future partners. So like Ethan mentioned, Lucky's. We have a lot of future partners in our area. So there's a lot of like food restaurants. There's a lot of partnerships that we do. So that there's Frosty Caboose, if you like ice cream. There's Marble Slab right in the heart of town Brookhaven. That's right there. So those are places that we can easily walk to. So I will say the great thing about Oglethorpe is really accessible to a lot of other places. I'm gonna be honest, I was not one of those students that enjoyed taking the MARTA, but MARTA's right there so to get you to where you needed to go. And I think that's what's really convenient as well. So there's just so many things to explore. I was gonna say something else. We went to just a lot of random places, just like I didn't explore much, but there was just so much to explore. So you're never bored. Honestly, you can stay on campus. You can like Justin mentioned earlier, if you're introverted and you don't feel like going anywhere, there's a lot of things to get involved on campus. There's a lot of fun things. If you like exploring, the city of Atlanta is a great place to do that. So I kind of did some taboo, like just a little coffee shop down the street, but it was just cute enough. I like to read. So I don't know. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Ethan. I was not prepared for that one, but I hope I answered it okay.
Yeah, no. I totally see where you're coming from. I do love coffee shop too. But I love coffee. So that's where we're different on that point, but no worries. Laurent, what would you say you're involved in?
Sure. I really love Atlanta. I do. I love the diversity. I love the restaurants. I love this is my favorite time of year. It's festival season. I love the festivals here in Atlanta, and I'm excited that some of them are starting to come back. It's just really an awesome time. It's just really just my friends and I would go to most of them. There's something to do all the time. I like coffee shops too. Going to coffee shops, going to festivals, going to Piedmont Park, going to Inman Park. Just simple things. I like that, and you can find that here. History. There's all types of history. If you want to go downtown, if you want to do the Civil Rights Museum, if you want to go to the World of Coke, if you want to do the Atlanta Zoo, what's the other one? I can't think right now. The
Aquarium.
aquarium. Yes. So those types of things. even if you do them, once, or if you do them more than once, you always, every time I go out, I see something different. So it's just really a great place. And I love other cultures and things like that too. And we find everything is here. Everything you need is here. And that's the one thing I do love about Atlanta. And it is accessible. It really is. Um, if you want to take the train, you can do that. You can Uber, you can drive. I mean, there's so many different ways you can get to places. So it's just really, really convenient. And it really is a college town. It really is. There's so many other colleges, universities, and, students that are students and other students, network with and things like that. So it really is college town friendly. And, it's a great place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely will say I have not taken advantage of like doing all of the things in Atlanta just because there are so many things. But it's definitely nice to know like there's never a reason to be bored while you're here, definitely because there's plenty to do. So the next question I wanted to ask you guys, I'm actually gonna ask each one of you this question, so you should all be prepared to answer. But what I was gonna say is so for our new students who are coming to Oglethorpe, what advice would you give to them on like how to make friends and to get involved on campus? So we'll start with our students first and then leave it for our staff members afterwards. Justin went first last time, I think. So I'm gonna ask Michael to go first this time.
Sure. I think it's so easy to get involved on campus. Um, I think the best advice I think would be to go to at the beginning of every semester, whether you come in the fall or spring, there will be an activities fair where all 60 plus and growing organizations that we have on campus will present their club or organization and convince you to join. And I think you should go to that, go to all the tables, and experience all the clubs and see what interests you, because that's the easiest way I think to make friends. Find a group of people that share your interests, and connect with them. It's a great time.
For me, I would say slow assimilation is key. So like when I started at Oglethorpe, I came from like high school, as I said, where it was small and I was super involved doing everything, right? When I got here, I said this is a new environment. I don't know anyone. I don't I don't know what to do yet. I have not taken a college class before. So I'm like, I wanna ensure that I have mastered what I'm here for first, which is academics, before I start working my way into doing more things. So when I first came in, I came in and did my work, got good grades or whatever. And then in November of that year, that's when I started actually November freshman year is when I started actually getting involved, doing more things, start talking to more people, et cetera, et cetera. Because I feel like once you've mastered one area, then I mean, there's always going to be room for growth. There's always going to be things that are like ever changing. But at the same time, once you've mastered one area, you can kind of start working on other areas of your life so that you can start, filling in where you feel like you're lacking. So that's what I would. That's one thing I tell everyone who comes to Oglethorpe is don't try to jump like head first into everything because you will find yourself extremely overwhelmed. Like Ethan was saying earlier, don't try to get involved in every single thing because you may find yourself overwhelmed very quickly. So that's what I would say. That's what I offer for my advice.
I love that Justin said that because I was completely the opposite when I started at Oglethorpe as a freshman. I went to everything. I joined a sorority in September. I joined program board in October. I joined one of our APO is a service organization. I joined that. I was ready. I was like, I'm gonna join all the things. Then I joined the lacrosse team. I did whatever I could just because I was excited. So I will say what Justin says makes sense. And I had an 8 a.m. I don't know how I did that all on top of having an 8 a.m. class. As my first class as a freshman, it was 8 a.m. And I was like, I don't know why I did this to myself. So um, just be mindful. Like, don't, like everyone says, like, don't jump right in. You can do it, I wouldn't say a nose dive, but maybe like a toe or a foot because it does get a little it does get a little hard at first, but I will say just be open to experiences. That's what I took away. Even though I did a lot of things, just be open to the experiences. Don't say, "Oh, this doesn't sound like me." I have so many friends that are like, "We this doesn't sound like us. We're not gonna do this." I never thought I would play lacrosse in college, but I did for 2 years. So you just never know. I think the best thing about Oglethorpe is you can try anything. You can try to join any club, any organization, any sport. Just don't limit yourself to things you're only familiar with. I mean, I wouldn't say jump right into something you feel like you're scared of, but like I said, dip a toe in, just to give it a chance because you never know what you find that you might love and might impact you all 4 years. Um, yeah, so don't go too hard, but try something new. Try something out of your comfort zone. I will also say, if you do live on campus, your residence hall, how I made my most friends was literally the inside of Trayer, and we had this big welcome thing, and I was like, we're gonna be friends. So I think getting involved with your RAs, like talking to your RAs, talking to your suite mates, the people next door, everyone at Oglethorpe is really friendly or pretty friendly, even if there's some introverted students. Like if you're introverted, you won't feel pressured or forced to make friends, but it just kind of happens naturally. So just be open and willing to let the experience happen. Yeah, that's my advice.
Some some great advice on here. Like I don't want to say much. So love that. No, I would definitely say just this is an exciting time. It's an exciting time in your life. It really is. Um, I look back, my friends and I talk about it all the time. It's probably some of the this moment in time was the probably the best moment in my life. It really was these years. And I would just say just to seize that moment. And when I say seize it is, just take it in stride. Don't rush it. Enjoy it. Get involved, get engaged. It's natural to be nervous. It's natural to be frightened. It's a new territory. But I would also remember there's people here to support you. There's people here that want to help you. There's a reason why we do this work, the work we do. For the academic piece, I would say if you're struggling academically, please reach out to your professors and those academic support team members as soon as possible. It's easier to communicate on the front end versus the back end. If you know you're not a strong math person, go ahead and seek out your math tutor. Go ahead and do those things on the front end so you don't have to struggle on the back end. And just go ahead, and some more communication is a big key. So make sure your communication is effective. Even on the student support team, we have all types of resources and from our office and campus life and the A Lab and other offices that are here to support you to help you succeed. Make sure you're utilizing those folks, those individuals to help you be the best you can be. Just to know you're not alone. Even if you feel like you're not. There's people here to support you. Making friends and connections. I definitely, as everyone has said, Oglethorpe is really a great place, and I see it from the student perspective that students bond really quickly here. They find friend groups really easy here, and so I've seen some introverted students that have really just be like, "Woo, total opposite," you know. Um, Within a semester. So that just speaks, that's a testament of the culture that we have here. And so that's a great thing. And you don't find those things everywhere. And so that's the beauty about coming to somewhere that's smaller and close knit is you can make those connections, you have the support, and everyone knows your name and you know everyone. And so that's important too. So I would just say take each day as a stride, plan accordingly, know that people are here to support you, and utilize your resources and have fun.
That's such a heartfelt answer. I love that so much. You actually, you kind of like led into exactly what I was going to talk to our students about next. I'm sure it's easy to feel like when you're first starting at Oglethorpe to be really intimidated or really overwhelmed by like all the things that are available to you. But just kind of curious, I wanted to know, how did you guys navigate that? When you first started at Oglethorpe, and what kind of support system did you find yourself having in your first year? And I guess we can start with Justin since we started with Michael last time.
I would say, I mean, I literally answered the last question when I talked about slow assimilation. I There's a lot to get involved with or involved in, and for me, I know that I wanted to get involved, but I wanted to ensure that I had my grades down packed because that's why I'm here. Um, so after ensuring that I was like I had a hold on the stuff that I on my requirements, then that's when I said, okay, I can branch out, I can do what I need to do. Um, Support system wise, I had a great campus advisor, Dr. Lutz, amazing, amazing, amazing. I also had the support of a lot of people in academic success and in campus life who kind of took me under their wing as a mentor, and I've been in close relationships with these people since, and they've just advised me, counseled me, every single thing that could possibly be beneficial for me. They've done. So you meet people your freshman year, and you have long lasting connections with them. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else for that.
For me, it was my fellow students. We, uh, I'll just specifically in my French class, I took French my first year, and it was so hard. It was so hard for me. But we made a study group with the other students in the class, and we helped each other to succeed. And that's you, you can, of course, yes, go to the Academic Success Center. They're always available for you. But also your fellow classmates will also be some of your biggest supporters as well. I still, to this day, I have group chats for all of my classes, and we make sure if someone misses a class, you can get notes from each other. You need studying advice or flashcards, you can do that too, exchange flashcards with each other. So yeah, your fellow students is also that was my biggest support system my first year. And yeah, it can be that way for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a really important part of the Oglethorpe experience too, is knowing that you do have that support. So I am going to ask our staff members as well, and we will start with LaRon this time. So I just want to ask you, like, how do you support a student who's sort of navigating that process in their first year?
Sure. I think for me, it's very from day one, it's by, introducing who I am, sharing my contact information, and just being a genuine person. I think it's just very important for students to feel comfortable talking to me. As even though I was a student about 5 hot minutes ago, but but that's okay. I still having them look to me. I want to be approachable and I want to help you, not to be seen as an authoritative person, but as a mentor and someone that's really going to guide you through the process. Because a lot of times, a lot of students, they need that. A lot of, especially if you're a first generation college student, you really don't know what to expect. You don't know what to anticipate. You don't know where to go. So it's, I really enjoy connecting students with other resources and also listening to students. A lot of students, just talk to me in general about all types of things going on and stuff like that, and which is totally fine. And so once they feel comfortable, sharing things, they do. And so just being approachable and available are just important to me, for all our students here at Oglethorpe.
Wow, Lauren, you just took the whole answer. No, that was great. Um, I think for me, I kind of make this connection, or most people students feel comfortable coming to me because I was an alum to Oglethorpe, and I'm not that far gone. I only graduated in 2018, so it kind of makes me, I won't say a little more approachable, but I feel like people just feel a little bit more comfortable just because I am this younger figurehead and not in like the same way Laurent mentioned, not in an authoritative way, even though I do advise and oversee a lot of things. So I think having this policy, and not a policy, just making sure people feel welcomed and warmed and like want to talk to us, because being a college student and your to chat about like athletics. I think for me, like working with coaches, the coaches do make it easier to make sure, like when it comes to studying and whatnot. And I will answer this question in a little bit, but just making sure students feel comfortable and wanting to come and talk to us. So I think no pressure. It's a no pressure environment. I think that's what I love about Oglethorpe. It's like we're not pressuring you to talk to us, but we want you to know that we are here supporting you and want to make sure that you succeed. And I think giving firsthand experience makes them feel a little bit more comfortable coming to me a little bit. So yeah, I think we're on to a lot of things that are in my head. So I don't want to exactly repeat what he said, but just making sure that like you guys know that we're here for you. We are here to support you. And if it's not us, we're not offended. We know how to get you in contact with people who can help you a little bit better than we can. So I think that is also a really good thing there. We work within our departments and outside of our departments to make sure students are feeling supported by not just our offices, but there are other people across campus that you guys can talk to. So having those resources and providing students with those resources is, I think, the best thing and how I kind of offer that support.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's again very heartfelt. I think it's very much a common theme that we have here at Oglethorpe, but providing that support and making sure that you're finding success in your first year. And you kind of touched on it, Chantel. We have a question in our chat about athletics, and I actually didn't bother asking. I'm not sure if either of our students are or were athletes at Oglethorpe, but I just kind of wanted to ask you guys, could you speak a little bit like not necessarily about what it's like to be an athlete, but more so like sort of like any involvement you've had with the athletics programs or just like if you roomed with an athlete or anything like that. Like even if you've gone to a game, just sort of sharing your general experience. And Chantel, you can speak about it from your alumni experience too, if you would like.
I was going to, okay, Justin, go ahead. Yes, I was going to let you jump in first. Go
Oh,
ahead.
what I was gonna say was I've been to one soccer game, I've been to one basketball game. They're very fun to go to. I will say. No, I've been to two basketball games. Haha. But no. Realistically, they're really fun to go to. You get to just have a good time. It kind of throws you back to like high school vibes, where you like get out of school. It's like a Thursday or Friday night or something. Then you go to a game. It's just chill. You get free food, stuff like that. I have very limited knowledge, very limited experience.
That's totally fine. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? I can add, some of my own experience too. But I actually am the staff advisor for the Oglethorpe cheerleaders here at Oglethorpe. So actually, I've been to a couple of the games, especially because I was, there to support the cheerleaders as well, being their staff advisor. But it's a really awesome environment, I'd say. So very relaxed, very chill, but still having like a great time, like celebrating your older pride and stuff like that and being involved. So yeah, is there anything else you'd like to mention, Chantel? Totally fine with that.
I totally can. So, to your question, athletics. If you are, and I see somebody said their son plays lacrosse. I love playing lacrosse at Oglethorpe. I think the best thing about Oglethorpe is because it's not as intense as if we were at a D1 school. So I think that's the best thing. People can get involved. And when it comes to athletics, I know all our athletes do have required study hours. So I think that is also a good thing. They want to make sure you are well rounded as a student. So you're involved in your athletes, but your grades do not suffer. So I think that is the best thing to know about athletics program is that um, you can be involved, you can be an athlete, but also make sure that you are still involved on campus and still make sure you're getting what you came here for, your education. If you have any other questions about that, we can definitely direct you more to somebody who might like know a little bit more. But I think how to balance being a student athlete and being involved, it's about prioritizing your time. Time management is key. And I love to say that although we do have a lot of sessions on making sure you know how to manage your time, because I think that's the hardest thing because our students are all so involved in so many things. So yeah, it's just about managing your time, and you can go to any athletic game. You can probably join any athletic team if you really wanted to. So yeah, I think that's just kind of just brief about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally I was a D3 athlete myself when I was in college, and Definitely found myself being able to, balance both like my extracurricular activities, my sport, and my academics at the same time. It's an awesome opportunity to be a part of like a D3 institution because there's no like huge pressure behind participating in your sport. But it's so nice to be able to have like another community that you're able to call home and sort of just be able to share those common experiences, whether you're in study hall together or you're just practicing as a team, going to your competitions or whatever it may be. It's an awesome experience to be a part of for sure. Around like, a third of our of our student population is involved in athletics. So it's a really popular thing at Oglethorpe in general. Just as a reminder, we are also having a athletics event with our coaches. So we will be having that as part of our Choose OU event series. It will be hosted on Monday, April 19th. So if you guys have any more questions about athletics, definitely encourage you to attend then and hear directly from the coaches themselves and our student athletes what it's like to be involved in athletics at Oglethorpe. So taking a look at some of our other questions that we have, maybe this is something we can end our panel presentation on, considering we only have just about 10 minutes left. We have someone who wants to know a little bit more about orientation and whether it's going to be in person. So just any information you guys can share on that. I know like orientation is a couple months away, so we're still sort of determining that. But is there any light that you guys would like to shed on orientation, how it's been conducted in the past, and sort of what our students might be able to look forward to?
Sure. So yes, and Shanta, you chime in. You feel free to chime in as well whenever you like. So yes, orientation in the past, orientation has been the weekend prior to the first day of classes. And so the first day of classes this semester is scheduled for August 30th. So typically in the past, everything would be from August 27th to that 29th. So it would be that Friday through Sunday. Right now, we're most likely going to be moving some of those heavier things for orientation throughout your summer in the summer pieces. So which are known as map days. And so those will be remote. So most of the orientation content is going to be remote. So when you come back for the fall, it's going to be more of a welcome weekend experience where it's the engaging, the connectivity, the connectiveness, and the fun, and to get you acclimated with the university. Because we do realize that, that weekend when you're moving in, you're trying to get settled, you have a myriad of things to do, and it can be a challenge to try to do that. And also you want to get connected too, because we want you to get connected, obviously. So that as of now, that's what the models will be. So just be looking out look out for communication about that, and we will keep you up to date as we are getting closer to those time frames with all those activities.
Michael, I saw you were going to say something. You can go ahead and touch on this too. I know you are one of our lovely OLs, our orientation leaders. So you
Yes,
go ahead
absolutely, Michael.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I had the opportunity this past um, fall to be a orientation leader for our incoming freshman or incoming class of students. And I don't know how it's going to be, but virtually it was still very fun. We had small groups of students. I think there was like 15-ish 10 to 15 students in each small group, and we got to just talk freely and connect with each other on Oglethorpe, all things Oglethorpe. We still have a group chat, and students still talk in it sometimes. Um, and yeah.
if you find anything about me, orientation is my favorite time of the year. So we're going to make it fun. Don't worry, it'll be fun. It is my jam. I love orientation. Like LaRon mentioned, most of our orientation modules and whatnot will be released during the summertime. So that way, when you get to campus, it's more like we are the rah rah. We're going to get you involved. We're going to let you sleep some. Don't worry, we're going to let you sleep. But we're going to make sure you still have time to get engaged, get acclimated to campus. So, and like Michael mentioned, we have lovely orientation leaders. That process is starting soon. So you get to meet your orientation leaders. Those are kind of also some of the first faces you get to see more closely besides your admissions tour people or your admissions ambassadors who give you your tours. So it's a fun process. Be on the lookout for more information about that. As Ethan mentioned, it's a few months away, so we are still in the planning processes. But yeah, you guys will see more information from us relatively soon.
Sorry, I was typing something really quickly. So perfect. That's awesome. So before we end our session today, is there any parting words that you guys would like to impart on our students before we close for the night?
Sure. Yes. Again, we're just so excited that you have chosen us to spend time with us, and I'm truly excited for all you all. This is definitely an exciting time. I know these next few months are very busy, graduating and from high school and transitioning into your new roles and your college roles. But it is an amazing time in your life, and I am truly excited for each and every one of you. Um, I'm going to claim all you all as Stormy Petrels for the class of 2025. I look forward to seeing each of you throughout the summer, which I will, and in the fall. And best of luck.
Yes, same. I do want to say real quickly, um, um, the make sure to make fast friends with the people in career development. They, I love them. They're awesome. They got my resume looking amazing, and I think they are the reason why I got this very selective fellowship. And I owe it all to them because the people in there are awesome. They do interview prep, um, get your resume nice, your LinkedIn profile looking awesome. So yeah, make sure you stop by them as soon as you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just ditto. Oh, I'm sorry, Ethan. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I just ditto everything that that Michael and Ron both said. That when you get here, it's just have fun. Just go right for it. Just have a good time. Get involved. That's what we're here for. Get involved. Um, yeah, just it's college. It's new, but it's college. Have fun.
That is so honestly, like everyone said, just have fun. Don't be too nervous. It seems very scary before you do it, but love on your family and your friends because they will still be your biggest supporters as well at home if you move on campus, even if you're still at home. Just, try new things. We are here to support you, as they all have mentioned. I'm sure that you can find our contact information all over the websites. But if you have questions, don't be afraid to reach out or do anything like that, just let us know. We are here to help and good luck. Like Laura mentioned, it's scary. It's a scary time, but it's super exciting. So we hope you choose us, obviously. And if you have, welcome. You get a whole bunch of love. It's a big loving community. That's what we love about Oglethorpe. So yeah, just good luck and it'll be great.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. So, one thing I did want to mention, since Michael mentioned it himself, we're actually also having an event with our career development team as part of our Choose OU series as well. So, that's actually going to be April 15th. On a Thursday. So, looking forward to having you guys there if you're interested. So, as we close for the night, just as a reminder, our session was recorded and will be available to you afterwards. So if you guys do want to take a look at what you may have missed, feel free to let me know. We'll be sending it to you afterwards besides the fact, but I've also dropped my contact information in the chat. So if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. But thank you so much for joining us tonight for our Choose OU panel for campus life. And thank you panelists for attending. You guys have been wonderful. So with that being said, thank you for attending and we will chat with you guys later. Have a good night.